Alright guys, today we're going to jump back into the Bitcoin price action and actually talk about more of the altcoin price action today because I think there's more exciting stuff going on there. It is the weekend, so don't expect too much volatility. I don't think anything too crazy is going to happen until Monday, Tuesday, and then that's where potentially the final low does come in, or that's potentially where the big rally starts to the upside. And the levels we talked about still remain the same from yesterday's video. The 52,500 level where we currently found support is what I expect to hold. Could we get a sweep of the sweep though? That is something that Bitcoin likes to do. So something like this range is where I do expect the low to come in for Bitcoin. If this were not to hold though, there is the chance we come all the way down to 47k. That is a big point of control, but I actually think we'll find support within the low volume gap. A lot of the times retail thinks these low volume gaps fill quickly when in reality they actually act as big support a lot of the times, and macro support at that. So I do expect this low volume gap from $52,000 to $53,000 to hold as the low for this to kind of play out as a double bottom on the weekly time frame before shooting on up into all-time highs, grabbing that liquidity to the top side above $74,000 as I've remained as my target throughout this entire range on Bitcoin here with all of these poor highs, right? Each of these highs right here have built liquidity above them. So if we are able to get a impulsive move here on Bitcoin, that is going to be the target, but we will need the S&P, the Russell to come up as well. Bitcoin does not just act on its own, but we're getting into that time of the year where we can see these big impulsive moves happen, especially going into election season. October and November are the most bullish months of the year normally. So yeah, some real exciting times ahead of us, and I think the September dump is pretty much over. I don't think we're going to see much lower prices. Worst case scenario, maybe we come down to this point of control of 47k, but I'm seeing a lot of people in my comments calling for that. So yeah, when people call for targets, they normally don't play out. Of course, you guys might be right, but if the general consensus is lower, probably not going to go lower. There's still a ton of bears in the market right now, and I love to see that. Something else I love to see is if we go over to our altcoin market, we look at total 3. We talked about these fibs. We wanted to hold the golden pocket. We wanted to turn this low into a wick. We were at a critical level, and look at that. This looks absolutely beautiful, getting back above that 618 on this retracement down. This is a beautiful macro double bottom formation here on the daily time frame, and I do think the altcoin season is ahead of us. I do think if we are going to have a big cycle here where it does fractal something similar to 2020, right, something similar to what we had back in here, I think if we're going to have something like this happen, it's going to be now or never. Do I expect it to be this crazy? No, absolutely not. I really don't think it's going to be anything like we saw when we had stimulus checks pumping the economy, but I do think with this structure we're forming here, it is set up for a pretty massive move up into around the $1 trillion market cap, where we have these value area highs of the previous bull run as kind of your first target for this. So I would expect something like this, maybe a double top on the macro like that on the total 3, or potentially, only time will tell, but we could actually flip this stuff into support and head on up into price discovery on total 3. We could also just come up, maybe just sweep this high real quick. We could do another bearish retracement, right? There's a lot of possibilities. A lot of it is wagered on what unemployment does here in the US, because that'll affect traditional finance. Bitcoin is correlated with traditional finance. Actually, it acts as a tech stock most similarly. So of course, as always, lots of possibilities on the chart, but the fact that we got above this, structurally very, very sound for us starting this big rally to the upside, and is another confluence for the low potentially being in, especially in the altcoin market, where you do see all of your altcoins starting to outperform Bitcoin with Bitcoin dominance dropping. I think there's a good case now that this was the final high. I've been saying this might be it, right? This might be it, guys. We might have this distribution out of Bitcoin into altcoins. This is where Bitcoin dominance falls, and if we can start confirming these lower lows, then I do think we could see the altcoin season happening very, very soon, right? Right when everyone gets super bearish, right when everyone's capitulating, you see sentiment down in the drain, all of your alts are gotten beaten down. This is where it could all start, and when you get these rallies in your risk on assets and crypto, it moves incredibly fast, and it can take back all of those losses very, very quickly. So some real exciting times potentially ahead of us, but I don't want to get you too euphoric or anything like that. Like, this is not a guarantee, and I'm saying that just because I'm wrong a lot of the times, right? I'm just a guy giving my opinion. I don't want you to be making decisions based on what I'm saying, but just based on what I'm seeing in the charts, things are about to get pretty crazy and to the upside, not to the downside. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing. I like the level we're at. Big supportive level. Let's see if we can hold this golden pocket, swing low, swing high. This could be a potential long setup, right? I don't place blind limits though. I'm going to wait for price to come into my order. This is going to be on Monday, Tuesday. I don't take trades during the weekend, but if we can get something like this going on, that could be where the low comes in. Or if we get a bit of a sweep of the sweep, right? This is also something I kind of expect to happen going into Monday, Tuesday. Usually, you have this weekend chop, and then this weekend chop gets swept down going into the week open, but don't expect too much volatility in the short term. We go over to trading light. You can see order flow pretty stagnant within here, but we do have a lot of big buyers looking for that sweep of the sweep sort of deal, right? That secondary grab of liquidity. We also see a lot of buyers looking for that fib retracement on here. So just a lot of big, supportive buyers in the order books all the way down to that $47,000 level. So you can't get bearish where we are. All of this is massive support in the order books, right? Literal support by buyers scooping up thousands and thousands of Bitcoin within current price, and you just don't see that selling pressure at all. There's really no sellers at this level. So yeah, let's see how this does all play out, and if we can get that big move up into the latter half of September. We got the Fed rate cut coming soon, which normally marks tops in markets, not bottoms. I don't think that's extremely bullish for the market because they're cutting to stimulate the economy, which means the economy is broken, but it is a big retail catalyst. And historically, it could be 2 months after that Fed rate cut when the top actually does come in. So that goes along with my case of, hey, maybe October, November, super bullish, Trump gets elected, everybody thinks we're going to the moon. And then that's where actually the exit liquidity, and that's where the top does come in. And we go into a recession after that. Of course, the only time will tell, but if you have any questions about anything I talked about or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also down below is a VIP Discord specifically for leveraged trading. Trying to provide a ton of value in there. It's a work in progress though, so 25% off using code EAGLE25. You can click on the link. It's got some bullet points to list out everything that it offers. Decide for yourself if it's worth your money or not. And then also below those links are a bunch of exchange partners, all of which offer their own perks and benefits and exclusive rewards and bonuses if you use my referral link to sign up. So don't miss out on that. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.